stop beating up on yourself? Where is it that when you put forth an effort and you get some movement, but it's not what you were anticipating or what you think it should be, and you find yourself telling yourself it's just not good enough? I was in a conversation with a client recently who was surprised that when we went down the list to see just how far she has come, that she was really surprised that she had made as much progress as she had. And she was like, I just had no idea. I didn't see it in that way. And hello, how are you? And I want to make sure I say your name correctly. Sevlana, it is so good to see you. Yeah, talking about just how hard people can be on themselves. And I was sharing how, I was in a conversation with a client recently who was talking about how things were she just wasn't able to get momentum going, or more to the point, she didn't feel like that, what she was doing was enough, that she couldn't see her progress. And when we stopped and we looked at it, we listed out all of the things that have happened for her and all of the advances that she's made and the growth that she's made and the changes in her life. She just kind of took a step back and was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. It's crazy how hard people are on themselves. I'm going to take a guess here, take a stab and say that you are probably really hard on yourself, that when you see progress, there's this voice that can just pop up and say, not good enough, I could have done it differently. Deborah, this is a really good one for you. Somehow I didn't do it exactly the way that it needed to be done. It's like you go down the list and you find ways to start picking apart the thing that you've accomplished, where at the end of it, when you're done picking it apart, at the end of it, you're defeated and discouraged and frustrated with the very thing that you should be celebrating. I got to tell you, this is a dream killer quicker than anything. Disappointment, frustration, discouragement, those things are dream killers. And 99% of that is self-induced, because most people have not learned how to really recognize their growth and then, more importantly, celebrate their growth. Now, it's been a bit of a theme this week, because this is so important. This is such an important piece. So often people have a dream, right? All of you have a dream. I mean, you're here because you have a dream. You're in this group because you have a dream. And by the way, my name is Felicia Searcy, your Dream Life Activator. You're in this group because there's something coming alive inside of you. There's something seeking expression. Something has revealed itself to you that is saying you are the one to bring it forward. And so you have this ultimate dream, whether it's the ultimate love relationship, it's you're building out a business, you're working for a company and you want to achieve a certain amount with a company, achieve a certain level, a certain level of income that you want to achieve. And you're seeing that goal. You see it, and that then becomes the evaluator. And everything. Now, I'm not saying that that's the way to do it, but that's what happens. Is that whether or not you're achieving that goal or you have achieved that goal, that becomes the evaluator. That becomes the measuring stick by which you evaluate yourself. And there's this expectation that you're going to go from 0 to that goal like that it's an instantaneous thing, that it's boom, it's just going to happen. And that's just not the way it happens. If you go back to what I share on a regular basis, the purpose of your dream is to grow you. It's to help you discover even more of your magnificence, to grow you into an even more magnificent version of yourself, which means there is a learning curve. There is a tangible, practical learning curve where you are learning skills and capabilities. And there's an internal learning curve where you have to grow qualities and attributes and discover qualities and attributes in order for you to be able to be a match for that dream. And so when you're navigating that gap between where you are and where you want to be, it's not an instantaneous thing. You don't want it to be an instantaneous thing. I know there's a part of you, that personality part of you, that wants it to be an instantaneous thing. But the deeper part of you, that part that's more committed to growing into an even more amazing version of yourself, that part respects and honors the growth process. So part of the growth process is transforming that voice that says you're not enough. It shows up as what I did was not enough, but ultimately, fundamentally, it's a voice that says you're not enough. And that will suck the joy out of life faster than anything. And what I'm here to tell you is that on the other side of that, as you continue to work the process that I share with you, and particularly those of you that I get to work with on a more personal level, on the other side of that is this amazing awareness of how amazing you are, this amazing awareness of how guided and loved and cherished and supported you are, and this amazing awareness of how worthy you are just because you're here. Then there's this curiosity that you develop around being present for something new from a place of adventure, from a place of, oh my gosh, I'm thrilled that I get to learn this, rather than seeing it as one more thing that you will use against yourself as a way to evaluate whether or not you measure up. Your dream is not one more thing you measure up. So, potential spam, boom, spam is trying to get you. So what do you do to bring that part of you along, right? Because here's the thing, that part of you served you, as crazy as it sounds. That part that wants to tell you that you're not enough, that part has served you. It's been a way that has motivated you up until this point, but no more. And I was talking with somebody the other day and was saying, well, isn't fear a good motivator? Isn't anxiety a good motivator? And that's just, code for, is it not feeling good enough a good motivator? And it's like, oh my gosh, really? We are so trained, right? We are so trained to be motivated by performance, to be motivated by proving that you're good enough, to see your dream as one more way to evaluate whether or not you measure up, whether or not you're worthy of good. And if you're not achieving it, then there just must be something fundamentally wrong with you. And the thing I want you to get is that all of that is just, it's trash. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just trash. And somewhere along the line, it just got wired into us. And the thing I want you to hear is that on the other side of that is freedom. On the other side of that is a deep sense of well-being, a sense of knowing just how cherished and your value and that you're worthy of all good things because you're here. And that when you're motivated from that place, life is magical. Things like the seas part, things drop to you out of the blue. You're engaged in a way that you just lose track of time. It's fun, and you see yourself begin to have a momentum, and you deserve that. That's what you're built for. All right, so how do we create that? Well, and I've mentioned this in a couple of other lives this week, and I wrote a post on it, and I want to keep bringing it back because it's so important. One of the most powerful ways to own your growth and own your worthiness is to start paying uber close attention to your micro wins. Start paying attention to when things are moving and celebrate those things. I had somebody tell me the other day that they've really been paid. I used the analogy of that you want an oak tree, right? That you plant a sprout and you want an oak tree. But from that seed, the seed has to grow into a sprout first. And you look at the sprout, you look at the slow movement or the little bit of movement in your mind, and you stop on it and you say, I don't want a sprout, I want an oak tree. And I know this is going to sound so ridiculous, potentially, But that sprout, and you know, it's so obvious in that analogy, right? That the sprout actually has to happen before you can get an oak tree. But now the work is to apply it to you and to celebrate you, to celebrate those micro wins every single day, seeing them as evidence that you are on the path of becoming the person that's a match for your dream and making welcome the rearrangement in your world in order to be able to make your dream welcome. No longer are you making your dream happen in order to prove yourself. There's nothing to prove. It's you're learning how to allow this life force energy to work through you and to move according to inspired direction and to celebrate the wins along the way. So here's your assignment. First of all, I want you to sign up for my free masterclass that's coming up July 28th, 11 to 12:30, where we're going to dig deeper into how to stay present for your dream and your worthiness and not let that old voice of I'm not good enough or it's not good enough derail you. And every night for the next 5 days, I have a challenge for you. I have an invitation. I want you to track 3 things. Let's just go with 3. I was going to say 5, but let's go with 3. 3 things that you're proud of. 3 wins. And it may be a day when all you can do is get up and say, wow, I'm really proud of the fact that I got out of bed and brushed my teeth. Now, I know that you're doing more than that, but to really own your wins, celebrate your growth, celebrate the progress that you are making, because that's what you're going to build momentum on. And then, like I said, join me July 28th, 11 to 12:30, where we dig deeper into this formula of how to give yourself permission to have a dream that just takes your breath away, and then how to keep faithful to it, even when the voices want to jump in. Because here's the thing, the voices do jump in, but let's cut them off at the pass and learn how to stay focused on what brings you most alive. All right, know how much I deeply love and appreciate you. Share your celebrations in the comment section so we can all celebrate with you. Let's all celebrate. Be bold and share them in the comment section. My name is Felicia Searcy. It is my joy to be your partner in believing. Your dream is my passion. Mwah. God bless.